like I could just see it because we've been conditioned. We've been like kind of like, well, we were young, so we're still a little bit more malleable, but like, you know what I mean? We came up in a certain kind of world, and then like slowly but surely just instant gratification started to set in the way that it set in. Now, consider the kid who doesn't know anything other than instant gratification.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's not good.
It's scary.
That's not good for anybody. How is he going to get a job? He's going to get denied, and he's going to be fucking pissed.
But you know what, though? Every generation says that shit about the lower. Like, I'm reaching that point. It's like, we'll be all right. Like, I think we'll be all right. We'll just adapt in a really weird way because we have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things are going to change. Like, expectations are going to start to be different.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you look at it now, like, there's certain things that, like, was drilled into my head as a kid, like, yo, there's certain things that is inappropriate, and this is where you can do this, and this is where you can't do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like etiquette's changed.
Oh, 100%. Some kids don't even have it.
Some kids don't have it. You know what I mean? Like, I think that, like, I don't know, like,
I was not allowed to run around restaurants when I was a kid.
People do that.
People fucking let their kids run around amok.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
my mom would have smacked the shit out of me.
Yeah, like,
some people.
I didn't even try. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you need to be, in a sense, afraid of your parents.
You have to be the authority.
Like, if there is not
Respect.
some sort of some sort of respect. Like, I see kids disrespecting their parents everywhere.
Yeah.
Respect is not taught anymore at all.
Yeah.
I literally went up. Oh, that was funny. In LA, there was this kid like completely freaking out in a grocery store, and I'm really bad. Like, I won't like say anything disrespectful, but I will call your kid out if he's being a little shit. So I walked up to this woman, and she was, trying her best to be, like quiet and just tell her son to calm down. Mind you, this kid's like probably 8 or 9. Like,
old enough.
Get your shit together,
old
kid.
Enough.
So I walked up, and I was like, he was yelling. She's like, please quiet down. I'm almost done. I'm like, don't fucking use please.
Your kid, yeah.
So I walked up, and I was like, you're the one screaming throughout the whole store. And she was like, thank you.
Wow.
The fact that she had to say thank you for her own kid. Though,
yeah. But I mean, like,
it's tough.
I get it.
It's tough.
It's incredibly difficult. Like,
I can't
even
really speak on it because I'm not a parent.
I was able to give the kids back at the end of the day, and it was still difficult. Do you know what I mean?
See, my mom will really smack the shit out of me, bro. Like, I was like I was a fear, like, yo, like, my mom is like very, like, you know my mom, you know what I mean? But like, when she was younger too, so you know what I mean? So yo, I will smack the shit out of you. The threat of like corporal punishment, if you want to be, you know what I mean, like strategic about how you say it, like, that's a real thing, and that's kind of phasing out now because we're not really supposed to be that kid. I'm like, listen, I'm not gonna say that you should or you shouldn't.
Right.
I just know what getting my ass whooped did for me.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
It definitely helped.
Hell yeah, dude. That's the thing, is like, I don't think my mom necessarily was gonna smack the shit out of me per se. I just think that I was afraid of her enough because she did grab my hand really tight if I was acting up, or she would look at me in the face and think, that mom look that's like, you better fucking stop before I kill you. That is what I was afraid of.
Like, certain kids don't need it, you know what I mean? Like, but kids are sort of like dogs.
They are.
Like,
we are born with nothing. We got nothing but developmental strength, and that's it. So as long as you're feeding your children whatever that is, they're gonna absorb it.
I mean, certain kids, I'll be honest with you, certain kids are just really kind of shittier than other kids.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean?
That's
like,
why bullies and assholes exist, you
know what I mean? But sometimes you know what I mean, I don't like with that. I could sometimes attribute it to like the way they were raised, but you know what I mean, I feel like there could be like two twins and they'll be polar opposites. They grew up in the same environment. Like, you know what I mean? My personality is just different from yours. I'm going to require some type of different stimuli in order to get a certain kind of reaction out of me. If you want me to be calm, you need to talk to me differently than you talk to this person. Right. That's kind of like the whole, like, what makes people like good teachers, the ability to cater to all of these different personalities. Yeah. I'm like, I don't have patience for that. Yeah. Like, I just want you to just act like a fucking person. Yeah. Don't I don't think I need to bargain.
You gotta teach them how to act like a person. That's the problem. See.
Yeah. That's difficult, bro. Like, damn, I gotta sit here and be like I don't know, like that's some shit that I really just hope my kids or kid, I don't know, you know what I mean, how many I have, or if I have any at all, but like hope they just like chill. Like I hope they're like me, but I was a piece of shit. So I don't know if I hope they like me, but like
I'm sure they'll give you a run for your money.
Probably.
But if if you speak to them like the way that you're speaking to me right now when you guys have an issue, they'll respect you because you're giving them respect.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like as long as like the conversation is communicative, and do you understand that? Do you understand that daddy doesn't like when you do it this way because that's not right? That's going to hurt somebody's feelings. Or, like if you have a conversation with a kid and they were raised entirely by you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're going to be chill.
Like, yeah, no, I agree with you. That's something that, like, at least in that regard, like that type of communication I learned a lot when I was working at the center. So, I mean, for those who may not be aware, I used to work with people with like disabilities and stuff like that. And like one thing that they tell you is like, yo, these people, some of them are actually very like cognitively there, but they just don't have the you know what I mean, the physical ability that everybody else has. And certain people, they're really not all there. So you learn to talk to these different types of people. And you know what I mean? One thing I can say universally is like I kind of talk to them like people. Just talk to them like with respect, and talk to them with like these people have senses of humor. They're people, they, you know what I mean? They laugh. They like dirty jokes sometimes, like everybody else. You know what I mean? Like I feel like just being open like that was something I didn't like inherently have. Like I wasn't used to speaking to like kids, or I wasn't used to speaking to like people who just kind of have like different. Like I don't know how to really word it exactly, like different mentalities and maybe like cognitive functions, because we're not really taught that, you know what I mean? Like I knew people used to like bully like people who had like who were like maybe like a little bit slower than others, you know what I mean?
That was me.
Really?
Not the bully, the slower one.
Oh, I'm like, damn, like you know what I mean? I feel like this is this weird like fucking attack mentality that comes with like kids.
Right.
Like kids are really fucking evil sometimes and scary, but it's like they're like the purest reflection of society.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%.
Like yeah.
I still remember like the days that I was bullied when I was fucking 5-7 years old, because that has like a traumatic that's a traumatic experience. Like when you're embarrassed in front of your entire class, or whatever the circumstances. I remember you too,
like if the people
that's messed up.
Yeah, like people be trying to be, yo, what's good? I'm like, fuck you.
See, I was the opposite. I was super friendly growing up, and I still am in a sense, but I was like ready to be anybody's friend that like wanted a friend. Yeah.
Fair enough. Like
I didn't like feel like I had older siblings at the time and super younger siblings, like baby siblings. So when I was in school, I was like, finally, people my age. Maybe I can make some fucking friends. But I was super slow, so people didn't like that.
Yeah. I mean, you grew up only child.
Yeah.
That shit must have been. It's rough, but it's not. It's a real like balance, because
you get to learn how to entertain yourself.
You got shit. They don't gotta share nothing. If your mom can get you something, and she don't gotta worry about getting the other one or something too. You know what I mean? Like that's lit. Like
I can imagine that becomes lonely though as well.
Oh yeah, like but luckily I had I was close to my cousins, so they were around a lot. It was like
brothers and sisters there.
Right. And my grandma was a babysitter, so we had kids around my age, somewhat, so like
that's dope.
But yeah, there were definitely times, where like you get lonely and shit like that. But I it's weird. I feel like I didn't feel like that until I was older. Like as a kid, shit didn't really matter. Like
because you learn how, like I said, you learn how to entertain yourself.
Yeah.